The best player in the world. Yes, Jannik Sinner is absolutely incredible and he's playing out of planet tennis. Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic, well, this is the comparison that I'm going to make today after these comments from Djokovic. I want to go and delve deep into this, if there is anything into this. Jannik Sinner, obviously, if you've been following his career, this is always going to be inevitable. From the early ages, the amount of power this guy hit, now seeing it transcend into him having one of the best years and probably the best year of any tennis player. This year is so key, and Jannik Sinner, top player. An important moment in Sinner's career came in Turin last year where he beat Djokovic in the earlier group stage matches but then lost to him in the final as Djokovic capped off an incredible 2023. Since then, he's beaten him 3 out of 4 times. He's won 4 out of 5 meetings against Djokovic. And from asking Djokovic what makes Sinner so difficult this year to beat, and he almost said there's so many similarities that he can see in his game. To start off with, the balance of backhand and forehand. The way Djokovic structures his point is very similar to the way Jannik Sinner does. They're going to beat you from the baseline with the amount of consistency that both players have. This is so cool to see both of them have this type of similarity in their game. Jannik Sinner loves to hit that and control the backhand and forehand from the baseline and likes to control rallies from the baseline. Coming to the net isn't as much of his forte and the touch isn't as good. And you could say that for the same as Djokovic. If you were to pick out a weakness in his unbelievable game, you would say coming forward is a bit weaker than the rest of his game. And he is more accustomed to playing baseline rally type shots and trying to outwit the opponent from the baseline and trying to keep the battles baseline to baseline. And Jannik Sinner and Djokovic both do really well from their forehand to their backhand. This baseline prowess added together with the amount of power both players can finish off points with is what is going to be so key, and what is so key for Jannik Sinner in the 2024 season. He has improved a lot of his game in terms of finishing off those short balls the way a certain Novak Djokovic used to. This is a huge similarity I see in both of their games, controlling the baseline and finishing off points with supreme accuracy and power. Their serve. Obviously, Djokovic started off his career with a service motion which is quite different to the one you see nowadays. He had to iron out a lot of creases in his serve that he had, which caused him potential issues. Jannik Sinner has also changed his serve from this year to last year to add a sense of more accuracy and for him to generate a bit more power. And he's going at a higher rate and a higher clip than he was for the last previous years. Huge skill you can see from Jannik Sinner, and what he's developed this year is hitting that ball on the rise and hitting it early and generating that power to suffocate the opponent, to allow them to have less time for them to think. What these two players do so similar is just doing that and doing it at such a high clip and level that is almost impenetrable, and the opponent will not have any answer for this, because the earlier these two hit the ball with the amount of power and the amount of speed and spin that these two players can hit the ball, it makes it almost impossible. We've seen a player since Djokovic has been on the tour like Jannik Sinner in the sense of them controlling the rallies the way that both players do, and aesthetically seeing both players hit the balls from the baseline. It is so similar to watch. He is taking more risks because he is growing as an individual, and he's growing and his body's getting bigger and stronger, and he can cover more court. And not only that, he's getting a lot smarter. All of these have become a huge domino effect for him to dominate the game. Djokovic and Sinner played out that Wimbledon semi-final where Djokovic hit one of the great passing shots. It almost felt a few years too early for Sinner, physically and mentally. But now, with the amount of power that Sinner's hitting and the amount of spin that he can hit and the way he can control opponents from his baseline and dictate points on his term, has been such a revelation for Jannik Sinner's 2024, which has allowed him and got him essentially notched up 2 Grand Slams and obviously taken a lot of ATP 1000 events. From hiring the same fitness team that Novak Djokovic won many slams under, to suffocating the opponents from the baseline the same way Djokovic used to, Jannik Sinner is creating a recipe of success, and this is already reaping rewards for him, especially in this 2024, and I only think this is going to be going up and up. I think having that same fitness team is going to be so important. their bodies are kind of similar in the sense they have a stature of being really, really skinny. They're pretty tall individuals, and the style of game isn't too far off each other. Obviously, Sinner alluded to the point there are different tennis players, but the way that they want to go about their game and the way they want to go about playing tennis, ideally, is really, really similar. When they do play against each other, it is almost so similar that their styles interact and they cancel out each other a lot because it is very, very baseline heavy tennis. And it is so robotic to see. But for a tennis fan like me, I love seeing this type of stuff, seeing the perfection that these two have made in their arts. But I think all of these similarities and comparisons between Sinner and Djokovic come from one thing, and that is both of them having solid fundamentals of the game of tennis. I think the way that they play tennis is so similar that they want to beat their opponent in the most orthodox way possible. Sinner will go in, do his job, no fuss, no special highlights, the same way Djokovic would, but will beat their opponent physically and up here mentally from the baseline. Having those strong fundamentals which Sinner has, and he has it in abundance, is what I think sets him and Djokovic on a similar path. Djokovic obviously coming towards the end of his career and Jannik Sinner just starting his career. But let's see what happens for Jannik Sinner's career, whether he can come anywhere near Novak Djokovic in terms of stylistically. I'm not just talking about slam stylistically and in general in the way that they want to play tennis. But yes, Jannik Sinner, Djokovic, the similarities that they have together are unbelievable. But let me know what you guys think of this similarity and this comparison. Jannik Sinner, an unbelievable year. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you want to see next time. Peace.